This episode, I wanted to speak to you all about starting my life in my 30s, just basically starting over in my 30s. I think that anybody who is doing this currently, it is a scary fucking place to be, but it is totally worthwhile. I know for me, when I was younger, I thought when I turned 30 or when I was in my 30s, I would have had everything boxed off. And I know when I was younger, like in my teens and early 20s, I wanted to be a graphic designer. I wanted to be a graphic designer, graphic artist. I thought I would have moved to London. And then none of that's happened. I did a lot of art when I was young, graphic arts, and over the years of me using, I always delved into it and I always dabbled into it, but my using just always took over, and I was always late on stuff. I would always overpromise and underdeliver because using would always get in the way. Say, for instance, I would start a piece of work and then I would have a line, and then I would have more lines, and I would create some really good work, but I was never working to my full potential because I was always picking drugs before my art. And I think I also just, because of my using as well, and because of just this self doubt that I had within myself, which obviously I would end up using more because of that self doubt and all of that, I never ever achieved what I thought I was going to achieve by the age of 30. So my using always got the better of me. And then when I went to uni, I did graphic arts and design. I got a 2-1 in that. In my GCSEs, I got a double A star in graphics. College, I got an A, and then I went to did a BTEC course in it, and I got distinctions, and then I went to uni. So I was on the trajectory of doing it, but my drugs and my party life would always come before it. And it came hand in hand, like drugs and being creative came hand in hand with me. It gave me the confidence to, I felt like I was only creative when I was high. And that obviously is just not the case at all. But I really did believe that. I believed that I couldn't create without being stoned or K or whatever. Do you know what I mean? So I would always use on creating. But because of that, I was always never hitting my full potential. And in uni, especially, even though I got a 2-1, I just never went to my lectures. I was always so stoned, and I didn't do what I should have done in uni. I didn't use it. I didn't use that opportunity properly. I didn't get placements. I didn't network. I just didn't do what I should have done. And now I look back at it, it's because I chose the party. I always chose the party before anything. So when I came out of uni, I got a job, and then I got into recruitment, and literally 7 years went by and I was in recruitment, and I did really well in recruitment because you can just, you're a good chatter, you can do well in recruitment. And then obviously money was coming in, which means it was funding my habit more. I was able to go out, I was able to do things, I was able to do the party, and my graphics and my art took like a back seat. And then it came back, it always kept coming back into my life. I always never really let it go, but it always kept coming back, and I kept getting these little opportunities here and there. I used to sell my art in Affleck's Palace. I've done loads of album artwork and stuff for people like for DJs and producers. So there was always these little opportunities and everything, but I just always like undersold myself, and I was always just never hitting deadlines properly, and it was just always a bloody mess, really, to be fair. The pieces that I created, I was happy with them, but I knew that I could do more. but it was always because I had drugs there and I was always choosing the drugs more. Anyways, because of this, that whole career of me being a graphic artist just slowly just disintegrated, just disappeared. And when you're in addiction, the things that you love and the things that you really aspire to be, and you have all of these ideas and all of these dreams, and the drugs become so important that you start to lose out on this. You lose your sense of what you want in your life, you lose your purpose, you lose everything. And the drugs did take over. And obviously I hit my rock bottom on 2022 in 2nd of January 2022, and I just hit, I was 31 the September before, and I remember just I had nothing by this point. Like I had no care of my job. I was in recruitment. I hated it. I was doing things on the side to get money. I was definitely not creating at this point. Yeah, no creativity at all because my mind was just completely broken at this point. So, yeah, obviously coming into my new life at the age of 31 was so scary because I didn't know what I wanted. I didn't know who the hell I was. I had no clue who I was. I had this personality. I had this thing where I was this creative, and I felt like I had something in my early 20s, and I didn't have that anymore. I didn't know what I wanted in my life. And then obviously losing my sense of purpose, losing my part of my personality at the age of 30 was just, yeah, it was scary. Having to start over is a fucking scary place, but I took it day by day and did what I needed to do. And obviously I had to rebuild my life. And in my early recovery, so obviously in recruitment, but I needed to get out of agency recruitment. So I went internal and I got a job at JD. And that was the best thing for me because it was internal. But being working for a company of that scale has been the best thing for me and my career. I have been able in the last 3 years, well, yeah, 3 years. So I got hired as internal, and then I basically went from internal talent team, and then I got given an opportunity to go and manage the JD's LinkedIn channel, and from an employer branding point of view, and start creating content. So out of nowhere, I was given an opportunity to then start feeding into that creative mindset that I've always had. And I never really fully lost. It was just in the abyss somewhere. And that was down to recovery. Like if I hadn't got into recovery, I would never have gone into JD. I would never have had the opportunity given to me because I showed up all the time. When it comes to recovery, like I don't have that mindset where drugs come first. It is always a case of I'm always showing up for people, and I am there. I say yes to opportunities, and I deliver all the time. And because of that, I got given this opportunity to manage a social channel and start creating content. And yes, it wasn't graphics or anything like that, but it was still an opportunity where I could start utilizing my creative mind again. Um, I had massive imposter syndrome. I didn't have a clue what I was doing. But I think when you get this, it's like a new lease of life. And I just grabbed it with both hands. I then spent a year learning all about the channel, learning what makes a good LinkedIn page, what type of content we should be showcasing, what type of content we should be filming, how to write creative briefs, all of that jazz. But like script writing, copywriting, creative writing, like learning all of these new skill sets. And it's all to do with me being in recovery, 100%. I would never ever have got any of this if I wasn't in recovery. And I hands down believe that. And then I've now literally just finished my PR and comms apprenticeship. And within that, I've learned all about like writing long form, writing short form, creating content again in a different format, creating creative storytelling. And I'm able to now use my creative mindset, even though it's not graphics. I have been put on a path now where I can utilize my creative mind. And it's all down to making that decision when I was 31 and saying, this life is done for me. I can't do this life anymore. And I want to restart. I've done everything I possibly can to make sure that I'm constantly learning and developing and growing. So, yes, when I changed my whole life at the age of 31, it was fucking scary, but it has been the best thing I've ever done. I am always thinking that, like, from a societal point of view, I'm not married, I've not got kids, all of that stuff, but I'm really, really happy in my relationship. I've just bought a house at the age of 35. I am different to a lot of my school friends. I do find myself comparing to my school friends. I find myself comparing to some of my uni friends, but I have to stop myself and tell myself this is the path that I'm going down, and I'm still doing what I want to do. It just may have taken a little bit longer, but that's okay. Do you know what I mean? So if you are in that process of switching your whole life around and starting again, yes, it is scary, but just take it day by day. Things will all work out. I promise you. Take those opportunities that come to you, grab them with both hands, and just like it's like walking into the fear. Like, I'm always so scary trying new things and everything like that, but it's this new lease of life, and I don't take it for granted. Yeah, I find in my 30s being just so good because I'm learning so much about myself. I'm learning that I can really achieve a lot of things when I put my mind to things. Um, yeah, so it's kind of relearning who I am, and I'm finding out who Isra is. It is different to what I thought I was going to be, but I love it. Like, I love everything about my new self. And I don't even know about my new self fully yet. I'm still learning. Always learning every single day. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, it's scary, but it's definitely worthwhile. And I'm starting to reap those rewards now. With new opportunities in work, with my house, relationship, family. Just there's so much. And also the peace within inside of me as well, like getting to know who Isra is and like who Isra truly is. Do you know what I mean? I think I'll leave it there, but I hope that makes sense. I just kind of wanted to do something about obviously starting in your 30s because there's so many people that restart their life, and it's not a bad thing restarting, like, at all. Obviously I hope that it's not because you're at rock bottom or you're in pain or anything like that and you're just deciding to do it. But I understand that a lot of people do restart because of significant changes in their life. So, yes, it may be scary right now, but it will be the most rewarding thing you'll ever do. So keep on keeping on, man. And yeah, like that rock bottom and everything like that. It's you've not failed when you've hit something or you're having to start over or anything like that. It's just like for me, I know that I basically when I hit rock bottom, it was me just going, I'm done with this life. I am done with doing this over and over and over again to myself. Do you know what I mean? That's not me failing. That's me choosing another way of life and choosing a better life for myself. So yeah, I hope you get something from this. And I look forward to speaking to you next week. Obviously, please comment below. Please share the episode. And obviously, if you've got any ideas of what you want me to speak about, let me know. And yeah, I'll leave it there. Thank you.